So we had a user contact us today about how to set up the GeoShred keyboard from MIDI out to be a percussion controller pad. And they had a very specific requirement. They wanted each row to start from C and to be C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and we're going to use the sound canvas, the Roland sound canvas, which is a general MIDI synthesizer. If you send MIDI on MIDI Channel 10, then you'll be speaking to the percussion bank. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new preset from scratch, and I'll call it PERC. Great, perc. And since it's going to be MIDI out, I'm going to go to the amplifier and mute the amplifier because we have no need to compute the engine. So that'll turn off the audio engine that's built into GeoShred. So go ahead and close that. And now I'm going to go ahead and go to MIDI, and I'm just going to take a look at MIDI, and I've chosen my single channel MIDI configuration, and I'm going to MIDI out right now. Great. Okay, so now I'm going to start the sound canvas, and we've got it right here. I'm going to use the piano initially so that we can tell that we have the proper octave banks. Okay, great. So right now I'm talking to the piano through GeoShred. I'm going to make a couple changes now. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Performance Settings, and I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it into piano mode. So each note is a discrete note. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in poly mode so that I can play two notes on the same row. So that's great. That's really nice. Now, the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Performance Settings, Keyboard, and I'm going to custom tune the rows. So the first row, I'm going to make C1. Second row, I'm going to make C2. Third row, I'm going to make C3. Fourth row, I'm going to make C4. Fifth row, I'm going to make C5. And sixth row, I'm going to make C6. There we go. And the other request that the user had is that this be an octave in this direction, so we don't need this extra C over here. So we're going to go here and change the number of frets to 12. Great. Now we have but this user requested that all the keys have note names on them. So let's go ahead and choose a different scale. We're going to choose the Chromatic Scale. Western Scales, Chromatic Scale. Great. And now we have Chromatic Scale. Okay. So that's pretty good. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go here under MIDI, and for the single channel MIDI configuration, we're going to edit that, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on MIDI Channel 10, and that's a very interesting thing. So it turns out in general MIDI, and the sound canvas is a general MIDI synthesizer, that MIDI Channel 10 is reserved for percussion and has a percussion bank on it. So by choosing MIDI Channel 10 here, I should have a bunch of different percussion instruments. And now you have 6 octaves of various keys that are able to map to all of the various different percussion instruments that are on MIDI Channel 10. Finally, this user asked us how to reduce it to 4 rows. So I'll just make this 4 right here. Because 4 rows are easier to access with your fingers. And finally, I'm going to turn on the settings called KeyY Touch, which will allow velocity, which allows you to use the KeyY height for velocity. Finally, if you use GeoShred as a percussion controller on an iPhone that supports 3D Touch, you can get velocity directly from 3D Touch.